joining Meridian. Welcome to Business Buzz. We're visiting today with Matt Capell with Capell Flooring and Interiors here in Meridian. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Yeah, thanks. Welcome for joining me.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I get to start this interview with a little bit more of a congratulations. So, Matt recently was recognized at our annual Business Excellence Awards as our Small Business Leader of the Year. Congratulations again.
Thank you. I mean, it was quite the honor
Yeah, absolutely.
to win
You've
that.
you've been in business a long time, and maybe tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about your background, your business, Capell Flooring and Interiors, and its history here in the Treasure Valley.
Okay. Well, so I'm Matt Capel.
Mhm.
I actually was born here in the Treasure Valley in the St. Luke's downtown. Grew up in Meridian. Went to Meridian High School of all places. When there were a lot less high schools here.
May have been your only choice then, right?
We had a few.
Okay.
They made Eagle High School my junior year. So.
Okay.
But yeah, the business itself was actually started by my mother. It was in December of 1973, but we always say 1974 because I feel a little bit bad about claiming a whole year with 2 weeks. So I round up.
Yeah.
But yeah, she started it. It was her thing, most of my life. My dad taught at Boise State University. And so, because a lot of times people are like, oh, your dad's business. It's like,
Hmm.
well, it really wasn't his business at first. And he retired there in 1996.
You came to work for your mom?
Yeah, I started working
Yeah.
with my mom. He took a little early retirement. And yeah, they just kind of did that. And they actually asked me, they said, hey, why don't you try working for us for a year and see if you like it?
Mhm.
So, and if not, you could do something else. And so in December of 2002, I started working with them and I liked it. And, the economy that was kind of when we started to have that
Oh yeah.
upward. And
People
so,
were finding out about us, and
yeah,
yeah,
people were moving here
yeah.
and, Meridian was showing up on all those top 20
Mhm.
lists across the country. And so I was like, hey, this is a great thing. So how I come into that again is my wife and I in 2008, that's when my parents decided to sell to us. And we kind of joke that that's when we really got our education in business because that was when, if you remember, if you were here or across the
Mhm.
nation, the housing market kind of took a dive
Yes.
for a couple of years. And so we kind of learned from the school of hard knocks there for a couple of years. And, what we feel fortunate that we didn't close and things went well. And, we've been in our current location since 2012. And we're just really happy to be in Meridian. We kind of find that Meridian's kind of the central part of the Treasure Valley, and it's a great location to be in. And, we really love doing what we do.
Yeah. So you've served the Treasure Valley for over 50 years. What does that kind of longevity really mean to you and your customers?
Well, I mean, it's something to be grateful for,
Hmm.
right? Because a lot of businesses don't make it very long, especially the stats are not in my favor as a second generation owner. And, we just try to. Yeah, I mean, as you know, last year we kind of celebrated a 50th
Hmm.
ribbon cutting with the chamber. And I just kind of wanted to do that personally for a way to kind of honor my parents,
Big milestone. Yeah, absolutely.
because they're older and they're slowing down a little bit. And we just thought that would be a good opportunity to bring back old sales reps and people and, customers and the chamber. And
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. And, we, it's just a reflection on what we're doing. And
Well, with that many years, you probably see a lot of repeat customers coming back year after years and years of getting products and services from you.
yeah, it's interesting. Not too long ago, we had somebody that was one of the first customers of my mom, buy
Mhm.
something for rental, and he's in his 90s now.
Yeah.
But they still come back. And, in my world, it's a little tricky because you're not going to be purchasing from me daily, weekly, monthly,
Right.
or probably even yearly. On average, people replace carpet kind of in the 7 to 12 year range.
Mhm.
And so we have to really look to the future. And it's not just a one off transaction. And we have to be very, thoughtful on how we approach things because we're not going to see you for a while.
Yeah. So, but one of the things that We recently did a remodel, and it took my wife forever to pick out those things. How do you help your customers who feel overwhelmed by the hundreds of flooring design options out there? What's your secret?
Well, so there's a few things. So our showroom's a little bit smaller, and so we have to be very intentional on what we have. We don't
Hmm.
just throw everything into our showroom. So we have a curated line for everything that we do. The other thing too is we have a process that we call the design audit. And so what we do is, because there are literally thousands of choices in my world,
Hmm.
right? And so we ask you a series of questions, and we hopefully take those thousands of choices, and based on those questions, like your lifestyle, your situation, kids, pets, how long you expect to be in the house,
Hmm.
things like that, and we hopefully shrink it down to things that make sense for you, your home, your space, and how you're living. And it's a process, but we feel like, and the process is actually trademarked, and we try to make it so, because construction is hard, as you said. And we try to make it as easy as possible for people.
Okay. So, Matt, how does your company's value influence the way you treat customers and your team members?
That's a great question. So I played a lot of sports growing up, and so the concept of a team and working together. So I don't call my employees employees. I mean, we're the team, right?
Hmm.
We're the Capel Flooring team, and we work together. And like everybody on a team, they have a role and different things that they do. That's the same with us. This team member focuses on this, and etc. And so we try to. Construction is it's a tricky thing, because that second you start tearing up your house, your stress level goes up and up and up. And so that's just a hard thing, right? Because it's stressful. And no matter how confident you feel, or, oh, I don't get stressed, you're going to get a little stressed, right? And so we try to do a couple things at our store. We try to have superior communication with our clients. And the reason for that is we have a couple mantras that we kind of live by. And one of them is, if you tell them beforehand, you're managing expectations. If you tell them afterwards, you're making excuses, right? And either way, something's going to happen, but it's just when you present that information. The other thing that we try to do with our customers too is we try to make sure that we never put the burden of the next step on them, because a lot of times you don't know what's going to happen. You don't buy carpet every day, you don't buy hardwood every day. And so the communication component is really important to us. And then the other thing that we do too is we try not to think we know it all, right? We feel as a business, the second that you think you know everything is the second you're going to die as a business. And so if we do have a bad experience or something goes poorly, we try to make sure that we get together and we say, okay, what happened? How can we do better? What
Always learning.
always learning, because you have to stay humble. You can't be proud about it, because if not, I work with too many companies, or have had too many experiences of like, well, it's this way or the highway, or I this
Yeah.
is how we've always done it. And that just doesn't work, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, 50 years, you've got a good business model there. So keep up the good work. Matt, where can our viewers find out a little bit more about Capel Flooring and Interiors?
So that's a great question. So you can obviously, if you search us online, we have a website,
Hmm.
capelflooring.com. You can call or text us at 208-288-0151. I feel like we have a pretty active social media presence, and so if you Google us, you'll find us. And we try to mix in fun with what we do too. And we're just here in Meridian. We're not too far. We're just a little south of Meridian High School, there off Linder Road. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
excellent. Well, Matt, thank you for coming in and joining us this morning. And congratulations again for being our Small Business Leader of the Year. Well deserved.
thank you.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Thanks.
Um, Members and guests, we've got some chamber activities coming up that you can join us at. Our monthly after hours event is hosted by the Meridian Senior Center. That is on October 16th. Free to members and guests. Come out and enjoy good networking. And then our annual Boots and Business Gala. This year it's a country western theme. That is going to be November 6th. Tickets are available on our website. And then First Friday, our next morning networking event is going to be hosted by the South Tomlinson YMCA, and that is on November 7th. So be sure and sign up and come to those events. Until then, have a great weekend, Meridian.